Hello, everybody. It is Mike's session 0 time now. So again, this is pre-recorded before the campaign even starts, but you're seeing it in the campaign, which is weird. I know. So hello, hope the campaign's going well. So we're gonna get into
5 sessions ago. Yeah,
we may have had a TPK by this point. I don't know why we're recording this. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. I guess when this shows up. But yeah, we're gonna get into Dav's backstory a little bit tonight and see what happens. This is the first time Mike has ever played Dav. It's gonna be interesting. So
that's very interesting.
So I'm gonna turn on my song for ambience, and we go to the northern region of Batran, near the city of Icewall, where there is a small encampment out to the west side of the city, a ways out. A small group of followers of a figure known as Acheral. This is where Dav and his family resides. It's very cold and snowy up here, and this is near the northern shores of the ocean. And it's a small fortification that's very tight-knit. People are closely linked. They all watch each other's backs. This takes place in the year 9184, and Dav is 26 years old. So it's a day like most others. The sun is up. It is cold, but still kind of beautiful out. And
Real.
Dav wakes up to go about his normal day. He would get up, kind of get ready, and head out to your normal studies. As you go, there's a moment that you pass some people who are kind of similar in age to you. One of them gives you a shoulder check as they walk by. Otis, he's kind of one of those guys that likes to beat up on you when he gets the chance, away from the eyes of the elders. But
Anybody around?
yeah, it's just like him. It's Otis and his friends. They all
Like, is there leadership around?
take a quick look around. It does look like there is Utrix. It's a little ways away, but is not really paying super close attention to this group right now. But he's within sight.
Probably grab his arm as I. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to trip. Watch where you're going, though. Watch where I'm going.
Get off me.
Just kind of winks.
They all walk away from you.
A little whisper after them. That's what I thought.
But you begin to walk in a little further, and Utrix does take sight of you. Motions you over. Good day to you.
Morning.
How are you this day?
Can't complain. A little cold, but nothing a good study session won't help.
Wonderful. Curious mind is always a good thing.
Sure. What's on your agenda today, if I might ask?
Have you happened to see Kendra around?
Question for you, Mark. I'm
Yes.
guessing we all live separately at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And would I still live with my parents at this point, or would I have my own place?
You could have your own place. I mean, you're old enough to have your own location,
Okay.
but you could still be kind of in the same general area as your parents.
Hmm.
I don't know what you'd pick, what you would do.
Sure.
It's not very big community, so
Yeah, he'd probably be somewhere near him. probably as closest to the library as he can get. You know, probably everyone buys over like the closest thing or something. Haven't seen her today.
Interesting. Well, let me know if you do see her.
Sure. You wish to talk to her?
Yes, that would be great.
Yeah, not a problem.
All right. On with your day.
Thank you.
He begins to walk off. Maybe a little hurried for what you're used to seeing.
I think he shakes that off and tries to catch anyone's eye. That's probably because, you know, Utrix around is going to be noticeable. And kind of like a, you know, of course he's talking to me, sort of try to put on that air of like, you wish you were me.
But before you use the library, there's other things that you were interested in checking out. Any of those, your studies, whatever what do you think you would do at this point?
Is his occupation right now just purely academic? Is there any sort of other occupation he would be attending to in kind of this during the day?
It would mostly be things that would help the community, I guess. So if you feel like that'd be cooking, it could be there. If it would be more like washing things, building, carpentry, like whatever you feel like would be his line of expertise to aid the community as a whole.
I think for Dav'Ril, maybe not every day, and maybe just when things come in or as needed, because it's not really his pure intention, but he is a bit of a jeweler, so just dabbles with it, but enough to help shape stones, especially with items and crafts, masks, things like that. So if he was to go find kind of the normal apprentice doing that, and kind of his mindset is get the hands working a little bit, get moving, which will kind of stimulate the mind and be ready for study, which is kind of his main goal later on, and maybe publishing an essay or something.
Yeah, so you head over to the jeweler area and walk into the building, and you're able to get to work there for your day. At one point, you do have Azarini, who enters in as well. She kind of walks up to you with her little gnome body and approaches. Good day to you, Dav'Ril.
Good day. It is a good day. I've been blessed by both you and Utrix today.
Oh, wonderful. Have you happened to see Kindra around?
Funny enough, that's exactly what he was asking. No, I haven't. Typically we have breakfast in the morning together, but I didn't see her there and came right over here. I'm sure she'll be in the library later, maybe?
I see.
Sometimes, I think sometimes she heads to town, I guess, right?
Perhaps that's where she went. Well, if you do see her, please tell her we'd like to talk to her.
Did she do something this time?
Everything is fine. We just would like to speak to her. No need for alarm.
I can vouch for her if need be. I know sometimes likes to bend the rules, but I'm sure it's nothing we can't fix. So,
oh, and she kind of like approaches and pats your head. Oh, dearie, it's okay. Everything is fine. We just would like to speak to her. No need to worry.
Of course. Yeah, if I see her, let her know.
It is appreciated. Thank you. And she'll begin to leave.
Any new scrolls or anything I can focus on today?
Oh, there may be a couple new ones in the library if you'd like to check them out.
Perfect. I'll make sure I'm there early.
Wonderful. Always good to be studying.
Yes, ma'am.
She'll turn to leave.
starting to worry a little bit about Kendra. She got into this time. Probably wrap up what he's doing and maybe try and take a spin in some of their normal spots to see if you can catch her before heading to studies.
So, as you go, you can give me a perception roll to see what you notice.
First die roll with this guy.
Here he goes.
And there it is.
Starting off
I rolled
strong with
a
the
nat
one.
20 before the session.
Oh.
That's a 3.
Oh, okay.
Perception 4.
4, okay. So you're looking around all the normal spots you hang out. You're not finding her anywhere. People you ask, no one's seen her. You sort of make your way around a little bit back closer to your home. Still haven't seen her, but you do find your brother, Micam, outside. He is currently practicing with a sword, almost in like a dance type, taking like positions and
You look silly.
whatever.
Just
Telling
saying.
you,
if you
this is
can-
the future.
Sure. You know we can like create swords out of magic now, right?
But can you use magic from the sword that you just made with magic?
Maybe.
Nah.
No. All right.
Trust me, this
Huh.
is gonna be worth it. He gets kind of into the position. Plus, your girlfriend does this.
She makes it look good though.
Shut up.
All right. Show me something you've learned.
So he just starts to kind of work it. I'm still figuring it out. It's taking some time, okay? But I'm gonna get it.
All right.
Just doing the position she showed me.
Sure.
Yeah,
Definitely that kind of brotherly ribbing. Yeah. Shoves him a little bit, but probably doesn't even get close to knocking him off guard because got no strength on that one. You haven't seen Kendra today, actually, have you?
No. Why? What's going on?
Haven't seen her in.
Where she's got another boyfriend?
Yeah.
I think it's
should be.
Otis.
She's smarter than that. No. Otis couldn't handle her anyway. No. As Rini and Utrix were looking for her, is either a good sign or a bad sign.
They can't find her here?
Mm.
Not a lot of places to go. That's pretty strange.
What I'm saying. I mean,
She didn't say anything to you?
No. I mean, every so often, she sneaks off to like a local city and brings back something. But I mean,
She normally tells you about that, doesn't she?
yeah, usually.
That's weird. Hopefully she's okay.
Seriously. Anyways, if you maybe tried to pick up a different hobby, maybe you could find a Kendra of yourself.
Whatever, she's still teaching me, so.
Fair. Alright, well, just let me know if you find her, alright?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. I'll let mom and dad know too.
Okay.
Alright. He kind of goes back to doing his thing.
It's like walking away.
Get out! Anywhere else you think you'd go? Places you'd want to visit? Things you'd do during the day?
And did he already kind of check out like their spots? Like places
Yeah.
that they might get away to?
You've made your
Even
way
if it's
around.
Not allowed.
You're kind of on your second go through around, just double checking in case she's traveling the same direction as you and you go back the opposite
Yeah.
direction, type of a thing. But yeah, again, no one's seen her today. I mean, she's the only fire genasi in the group, so she stands out. So far, nothing.
Gotta go back home real quick, double check for any notes, double check for anything like that, and then at that point, just kind of give up and probably head on to the library and studies, because that's where she would expect to find him, most likely.
Yeah, you can search everywhere, search your home. She's nowhere to be found.
Herself.
But head over to the library. You're able to get those scrolls that were mentioned and begin to pore over them. And
did it be Otis to him?
What?
Did it be Otis to him, or at this point?
You did beat Otis to them.
Good. Have all as many of the scrolls as he can take. Kind of hoarded to himself.
But spend some time reading over these. They take a fair amount of time to just go through each one and glean all the information from them. About close to mid-afternoon, you're deep within reading, and you hear this, "Psst, hey.
Yeah?
And you look over, and you do see Kendra approach you.
She walks
up. Hey, did I find you here?
Of course. Trying to find you all morning. You are quite the popular person.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Of course. Yeah, Utrix and Azrini were looking for you. I mean, I was looking for you. Where'd you go?
Oh, yeah. I was just out for a walk.
You gonna take me with you?
Maybe next time. Tell you what, though. What about tonight? The cliff over outside the city, the one that's overlooking the city?
Cool.
There's that cave that's by there.
Okay.
Meet me there at sunset.
What?
I want to show you something.
Alright.
Better go see what those two want. Hopefully
You want
not
me to
too
go
much
with you?
trouble. Nah, I'm good. I'll handle them. You look at
Alright,
your scrolls.
Be respectful to Utrix. You know how stiff he is.
Of course, I know.
He would probably attempt maybe to pull her down, give her a kiss on the cheek, sort of thing. See how she reacts.
Yeah, she'll accept the kiss and. All right, yeah. I'll see you later. Remember, sunset, the cliff with the cave.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You better be.
Don't worry, I'll be there.
So she'll walk off.
What have you gotten into yourself into? Goes right back to his studies.
The day kind of continues on in your scrolls, reading. How well do you think you keep track of time?
Oh, not well. I'm sure he often works through meals and studies late and things like that.
How intentional would you be about meeting that sunset deadline or time that she gave you?
Yeah, I think as far as the sunset, I would assume people start, I'm guessing, heading out and closing down for like a dinner sort of thing, which would be near, right?
Yeah, I mean,
nearby it.
Definitely.
Yeah, if he starts noticing the candles kind of going down, or like even just the later thing, it'd be enough to snap him out and be like, oh, shoot, and then kind of dump the scrolls back off at, probably people that were sitting there like, you done yet? And then grab his notes.
Yeah, there's definitely a point where you start realizing you need a candle to even start reading these things. Like, oh, it's getting close to sunset. Okay.
Trying to use light Can't get that one down.
But you turn in your scrolls, start hustling off towards the cliffside with the cave there. You have to exit the actual like the encampment to get up there.
There's sort of like security. Like, do they guard it at all, or is it kind of like no one really leaves, but it's a free?
Yeah, I
open...
mean, there's definitely people who keep watch on the edges. But
is there any way to sneak around them? Like, would we know of little?
Yeah, you can definitely give me a stealth roll to try to get out.
I think he'll try and avoid any notice. Just a little worried that people are looking after.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's really good at sneaking out too, so she's probably shown you some special ways out.
Makes sense. Natural 20.
There you go. Yeah, you know exactly where to go, watching the patterns they go through, and are able to get out no problem. And leave the encampment to head up that cliffside. Not too big. It's just kind of a little bit of an overlook towards the.
Cool.
But you head up there through the snow, making your way up, and you start to arrive at that cliffside. There's a cave kind of behind. It's not super deep looking cave, but it's got a little bit of a depth to go inside of it.
Has he seen it before? Is this like a normal spot for them, sort of thing?
Yeah, this is definitely a spot where you've been to get away from people.
Yeah.
The two of you've been here together like many times.
Cool.
It's a little colder without her nice warm, like.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's thinking.
Fiery body.
Yay. Starts yelling out like, "It's cold. Where are you?"
Yeah, you're looking around. He's not here right now. But
how soon is before sunset, is it? Or is he late?
It's pretty close to sunset right now. It's like right about that time.
Yeah. Probably start looking into the cave. He's not someone to wait.
Yeah, give me an investigation roll.
Buddy, what are these dice rolls? This is right back to beacon stuff. Investigation, that's intelligence?
Yep.
8.
8, okay. Yeah, I mean, you've picked through this thing pretty much everything you felt like you could find in the past, so you're not finding anything new, but you're looking for any signs of people who've been there. There's a spot where it's like written in like Dav and Kendra with a heart around it, typical things.
There's a flame around the heart, but whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing.
I'll probably just stand in the cave, just getting out of the wind a little bit and
get a little shelter. Yeah.
Bring out his book and start finishing up some of the notes that he's working on while he's writing.
Okay. So you're beginning to take your notes, waiting. As you're sitting there, kind of getting lost in your notes, waiting for her to arrive, you begin to hear a strange sound over the kind of the winds outside.
Takes it off.
Okay. The sound continues. There's one point you swear you heard a scream.
Mountains trick you. And he just kind of gets up, probably taking a stretch and thinking it's just like a howling wind, but he'll start kind of slowly just peeking out, trying to hear out. And again, probably more looking for Kendra than worrying about anything at this point. I mean, we've never had any real threats here before, right?
Not really.
Guessing. Nothing has been taken care of. So yeah, I think he's in a very, say, sheltered mindset, but not even thinking anything on that end.
So you begin to kind of take a peek out and just look. You see like a flickering glow kind of coming from the edge of the cliffside, like you can begin to see, and it looks like smoke rising.
From like down or
from down, kind of close to where your encampment would be.
Oh, okay, so like we're up on the cliff is what you're saying.
You're up on a cliff
down there,
and the encampment would be something you could overlook from there.
Yeah, I mean, so it seems like smoke from our encampment then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think he'd look around again and then probably start scrambling, grabbing his stuff, putting him in his bag, and then I think he'll start running down, trying to look into what's going on.
So as you run,
the library's on fire. This is huge.
Oh yeah, you can give me a perception roll as you're running closer.
Those scrolls. Okay, now he cares.
The books are in trouble.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, if the scrolls are in trouble, we gotta go. I don't care about anything else.
As you begin to run and start to see more of the encampment now that you're coming to an angle that overlooks it more, you begin to see some buildings on fire. There's flashes, like bursts of flame in different places. You see very shadowy looking huge forms as well going through the camp. You see some long shadows that look much bigger than most that you would see normally. Like they are some massive creatures in these walls, but it's dark now. The sun is down. You hear yells as you get closer and screams for help.
So these are like shadows on rock that he's seeing, or is it like shadow beings that he's seeing?
Like shadows against buildings and things moving. You see like large forms too that you can see walking through between buildings and swinging what looks like big axes.
Definitely in a bit of a shock. I think he would at first like kind of look around for some sort of like crate or something to hide behind, just to get a better look on this, and then I think in that moment he'd kind of try and get closer to the library, or I don't think he's even thinking about going home.
Okay.
I think he's wanting to make sure if the library needs help,
sure,
maybe he could retrieve something if needed. But
so you begin to make your way from the outskirts back in your kind of secret way.
Question for you. Is like the library main area the same where any sort of the ritual stuff would happen, or stones might be kept?
Less so the library, but there's a building nearby that would have more of the like actual ritualistic ceremonies that would happen there.
Okay. Or like, I just wasn't sure if there's like an artifact place as well.
That's probably more of the ritual place that would have artifacts than knowledge is in a building.
Like looking for anything per se, but you just be heading that way just to make sure, like, if these things are attacking the town, if I can get there and retrieve things, save them before, and maybe make sure they're safe.
Yep. So you begin to sort of hustle your way over, trying to keep to the back ways as you go.
You, Kendra? Yeah, I'm kind of eyeing out, looking for Kendra as well the whole time.
Okay. You can give me a perception roll as you go.
18? No. 4.
4. Okay.
It's always a 4 with Kendra.
So, looking around, you hustle over towards. You see the shadows of these large figures, and you hear kind of like heavy footsteps in the packed-in snow. These sound massive in size, whatever they are. It's hard to get a good look at them from where you have been able to walk around, but that also means you're probably avoiding them. So it's a positive.
Yeah. I think at first he'd try and make sure he stealthily gets there, and then if there's ever points where he feels like he could get a look without exposing himself, he might, but
Okay.
he's not someone to run into that at the moment.
As you're moving closer and closer to the library, you continue to hear the occasional just blood-curdling scream, these grunts of pain, and just these massive roar sounds and yells of whatever these creatures are. Curiosity begins to peak for you as you move forward to take a look.
Any sort of sentience coming from the roars, or is it like bestial?
Hard to tell at this point.
Hard to tell. Okay.
But you approach, getting closer, and why don't you give me a nature check?
Yes.
Yep.
That's not too bad. I guess I don't have to worry about proficiency, but intelligence is a 3, so 15?
15?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. You get to a spot where you begin to look around a corner, and you can see what looks to be these large, furry creatures that you've heard of as yetis that are going around just pummeling in some buildings, and they see a person, one goes to get smacked. But more terrifying to you is the figures that you kind of see in different places, almost leading these yetis, as these large frost giants are going through and just laying waste to buildings. People who are shooting like fireballs at them and different spells to try to keep them away. They're just charging and crushing them in almost a single swing.
And at this point, he hasn't mastered any sort of spells, magic.
Not at this point. Here's the music.
Yeah.
This is more intense.
Nice. Yeah, I think at that point he'd be stunned for a second. This isn't normal, and there's 1,000 thoughts running through his mind. Where are they from? How'd they get here? Why are they attacking? Like, why us? And I think at that point it'd probably get a little overwhelming as he's slowly not thinking about he's still thinking about the library, but there's also the thought of his family and Kendra involved as well. Yeah, and then I think after just seeing this and then taking it, just scrambling back, breathing, and then just trying to push forward and maybe even breaking into a run. If the library and that ritual site are closer at this point, I think he'd still go that way, unless his home or like his brothers, like that area would be closer, like where Kendra's would be at. But I'm guessing maybe even the other place could be a hideout too. So
okay. So you begin to still hustle the library's direction. Mm-hmm. As you get to that location, you can give me one more perception roll.
17.
17?
Yeah, 17.
Okay. Through the various buildings that are ablaze, being crushed in the darkness of, like the magical light sources that are around being smashed and destroyed, leaving much of this place in darkness. There is a moment that you are starting to get close, that across the courtyard area, you look and you see Kendra. She's got a box underneath her arm, and she's sneaking away at this point, it looks like. The box you do recognize immediately. It is the box that contains and houses the Azure Stone that is used for your rituals.
Right.
As she moves too, she walks right past a frost giant that does nothing to her. She kind of just looks up at it and then heads off as the frost giant just like looks down at her and just then goes back to laying waste to the buildings around.
Heading away from me, heading towards me.
Away from you.
He would trying to keep to like alleyways and stuff. If he's, I'm guessing he might assume where she might be heading, like another entrance or exit. Would go into a full sprint and you have 10 more feet of movement. So he's going to try and cut her off, or not a cut her off in the way of stopping, but try and like catch up to her. Because at this point, I think he's assuming she's saving an artifact, sort of thing. So, same thing he was going to do, and that's try and catch up to her if he can.
You begin to hustle that direction, trying to guess where she's going. This pathway does lead you nearby your parents' house as well. As you run, there's a moment where you see outside your family's home, you see your brother attempting to fight one of these frost giants.
Oof. He would, probably pause for a second and then course correct, and he's going to try and go to his brother's aid.
Okay.
He's got like nothing but a dagger, like if that.
Yeah.
I doubt he'd even have that, to be honest.
So you begin hustling towards McCain as he is just yelling out, trying to dodge these attacks. The big swing comes down, which he just moves out of the way of, and you can feel the rumble through the earth as it connects. You approach with your hustling up to do anything. You say anything to him. You're just diving into a fight. What are you doing?
I think he would start running and just yelling his name and just be like, don't be stupid, let's go. And I think he would attempt to like grab him and start running, sort of thing. Like, because he doesn't think either of them are gonna fight this thing.
So you hustle up and you grab onto him as this frost giant begins to pick up its axe again. He just kind of like, no, we have to help. We have to. He points over and you see your dad just like on the ground, looking very badly injured at this point.
What do you want? I got nothing. Come on. I don't have anything.
And
let's go.
And just like as that happens, the hammer comes down on your brother right in front of you.
He's screaming. He's yelling at this point, probably knocked back, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you get shot back a little bit. The frost giant takes a couple steps forward and just kicks you across into a building. You go crashing into it and black out. the next thing you realize, you are awakening in a bed. There's music back to the other one for now. You feel warmth of a fire nearby. Some soft sheets. There looks to be some different medical supplies, some ointments on the table beside your bed.
Sorry. Yeah, he's like waking up in a stir. Just Micah, Dad.
And in comes a woman. She approaches. Hey, it's okay. Just stay calm.
No, where are they?
Lay back. Your encampment was attacked.
All right. Where are the rest of them?
You were the only survivor.
No, they're up there. Let me go. And he's gonna try and get past.
Yeah, she's gonna try to push you back down. I don't know if you want to use a strength roll to try to compete against her, but
I'm sure he's injured as well. I'm gonna lose to her, so out of a little pride, he's not even gonna fight too much.
Yeah, she's trying to be very comforting, kind of keeping you in your bed. You feel pain everywhere as you sort of begin to try to rise up. You definitely have some broken ribs. You're in a lot of pain at this point. Don't move.
Assume as well that he, at this point, probably got some sort of throat injury as well from just the attack and things.
Yeah, it was not good. You have a lot of places that you were stabbed into, maybe by debris that fell on you. You're definitely a little roughed up. Bandages all over.
Fine. What do you mean no survivors?
Whatever attacked. No one made it out. My husband, he was going to one of his supply runs. He found you among the rubble of a building, barely alive, and he brought you back.
No one around me?
No one alive, no.
Yeah, I think at this point he realizes outsiders and information and kind of closing off a little bit.
I'm very sorry. We'll do what we can to help you recover.
What's your name?
My name's Irma.
Your husband?
Howard. Are you hungry? Do you need food? Water? Anything? We'll provide for whatever you need. Again, I'm very sorry.
Me too.
She'll kind of slowly get up and she'll still bring you some soup and some water. Even though you didn't say anything, she'll just put it next to you for if you want it.
he just kind of lays back down and just turns away. Like, it's like one of those things where you just like bring the blankets around you and yeah, he just processes it. Probably doesn't touch his food for a bit until absolutely has to.
There's a point where Howard comes back from whatever he was doing. And he approaches you. Are you doing all right, son? How you feeling?
I don't know how you want me to answer that. I should thank you. Thank you.
What happened to your people is terrible. Never seen anything that horrible before. I can't imagine what happened to you. Do you remember anything? Is there anything we can do to help you with that?
I don't remember much. He's lying through his teeth, but
okay. Well, take all the time you need to recover. You are welcome here as long as you need to be. Like the gods were watching out for you. And he kind of like takes a look over, and there's on the wall like a symbol, a deity there. You can give me a religion if you'd like to. See if you recognize it at all.
thank you, Dice. Thank you, Dice. Is that intelligence?
Yep.
30-20.
20. Okay. You take a look at it and you recognize it from your studies as being the symbol of Dalmine, who is the goddess of dreams and imagination and luck. Very whimsical, but very good too.
Dav is doing everything he can to bite his lip because he is grateful, but I think he just scoffs a little bit and quite lucky I am then.
Well, again, we'll give you anything you need. No, he'll leave you be.
He would I don't know how far he'll get. He might finally scarf down whatever he has and drink what he can and then try and leave without even saying anything.
Okay. Irma would try to attempt to have you stop before you left, but if you insisted,
Is there any way to like stealth out a window or anything?
in your state, to not be seen, probably pretty tough. It's not a big house either, but
Fair enough. Then if there's no clear way without being seen, I think bandaged and putting his coat on.
just approaches. Please,
Bag.
just one night. Rest one night at least. You're in really rough shape. Please, it'll help me feel better. She'll take your coat and help guide you back into bed.
Back to his laying down, looking away from everything. Trying, I think, as stoically as he can to not think about what he's seen. Not cry.
There's a point as the evening goes on that you kind of hear this muttering of Irma. And it looks like she's taken the symbol off the wall and is just holding it in the other room down on her knees, like she's praying right now.
Was there any other worship of deities in the encampment when he's growing up? Was it always just one?
Not so much for any others. It's Akral's your group's deity.
Okay. So there's no like dual worship at all?
Not really,
right?
no. Not within your group.
It's just more of an intellectual study sort of thing?
Yeah, you're aware of
Yeah.
various figures from the Pantheon, and yeah, Dalmine is a major deity too. It's one of the Akraf ones. But she's just in that room on her knees. That symbol in her hand, she's like clutching it close to her chest.
I think for a while there, for a good minute, he's attempting to ignore and not pay attention, but I think there's a bit of, not sure if it's anger, not sure if it's denial, sadness, or just numbness, or just everything. I think he would slowly get up and kind of peek around. What's the point of praying? What are you praying for?
She'll stop and look at you. I'm praying for healing for you.
You could pray that I join the rest of them, maybe.
Why would I pray that? I believe Dalmine allowed you to be here today. My husband to find you.
She allowed those monsters in. She allowed my brother to be destroyed in front of me. Is that what she does?
No.
Our God didn't save me. The rest of my people, he didn't show up and fight for us. Sorry, there's a little Avum accent bleeding in there. My apologies.
Yeah, it's fine.
He didn't show up and fight for us. What do you pray for when that happens? And there's a moment of like an actual pleading, hoping she has an answer. A child who's lost everything.
Just kind of looks up at you. She has tears in her eyes at this point. I pray for healing for your soul. Still use every day you're given to be the best you can be.
That's a good prayer. I'll become stronger than a god if I have to. It won't happen to anybody.
She'll rise up and kind of go to get you another, like, pitcher of water to have nearby you. You're welcome to stay as long as you'd like. I'm not going to put you out on the street like this.
I think the night will be enough. I want to get as far away as that place as I can. I don't mean to be rude. You and your husband are being kind. But I need to get away from this anger. I need to get away from all of this.
I understand. I hope Dav'Ril will guide your path. She'll kind of help you get back into bed and lay back down and get comfortable.
I have that.
Of course. She'll hand you the symbol.
Maybe she will.
I believe it.
Too. I don't think he's good enough at any deception. I'm sure she can pick up on hints of still anger and a bit of somewhat scoff, but he's doing his best to be kind to her in the moment.
She'll leave you in the room and head back out.
He will take out his phone, the notes he was working on that day. Would we have any sort of religious symbol, Dav'Ril, that we would wear or cling to?
You would probably have a symbol of, like, almost like a circle of stars that would be important to your people.
Oh. I think he would take both out and prop them up against his book and then just lay there. I think he would stare at the two of them until they fell asleep.
Okay. That night, as you sleep, you begin to open your eyes. And you find yourself standing on top of a mountain. You look around. The moon is absolutely massive in size. Looks huge. The sky has stars brightly shining all over the sky. And there are streaks of blue and purples and greens and kind of like northern light effects going through the sky as well.
Nightmare.
And you hear snow crunching behind you, approaching.
Does the mountaintop feel like anything around the encampment?
You can give me a nature roll. See if you'd recognize this.
I don't think Reddit ever made a nature roll. I'm making 2 today. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, that's a 3.
Okay.
Oh, well, nature would be 5.
Okay.
So.
You're not really sure of anything.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I just changed nature up to religion. And that's great. I love it.
There's mountain range kind of a little ways south of your encampment, and then there's even more mountains south of that. So you're not really sure if it would relate to any of those, but it is kind of
want to be something
snow-packed.
like he would have physically been to.
No, you've never been to
yeah.
this location. You have no idea if this is even a real location at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, the sky is extremely vibrant too, from what you're used to seeing. Like, there's not really a lot of light pollution where your people were, but still, it's even more vibrant than anything you've ever seen before. And you hear this crunching behind you.
Maybe I am dead. And he just turns.
And you turn and see a woman walking and approaching you, and her skin and her hair are both blue in color, and it's actually even pretty similar in color to the stone that's in your eye socket. It's that kind of blue. And she approaches you, just kind of looks curiously at you. Based off of your understanding, the appearance of her gives you vibes of the depictions of Dalmine that people have put out there.
Is he at all aware if this is dreaming or not at this point?
Doesn't seem real. Seems dreamlike in nature. But she's also the goddess of dreams, so.
Guess that's a silly question.
She just kind of look at you, smiling.
Unless this is a figment of my brain causing me to hallucinate. Like, take a step forward, almost like attempting to poke her, see if she's real.
Yeah, you reach out and poke, and she's like, well, that wasn't very nice. Just poking people?
So you are real. Or is this real?
Sort of.
I'm dead?
No. Absolutely not. You have a lot more to live for.
You had to explain.
No. But follow the path of your brother. You'll find answers. She kind of begins to dance very similarly to how your brother was doing his sword play, and how Kendra does her thing with the sword as well, and kind of begins to almost like skip away from you as she's doing this dance.
Hey. Don't leave me.
She looks back. I won't. She just continues to walk away doing this dance.
Hey. Why didn't you stop that? Why'd you let him die?
She stops for a moment. The gods aren't all powerful. But
Clearly.
we empower people to do the best they can.
Follow the path.
You got it.
I'm gonna make my own.
Do as you wish. She'll kind of continue to do this little dance as she leaves and walks away and disappears into the shadows.
Oh yeah, he's fuming.
Your character would finish up their rest, and that's where we're going to end your session 0. We'll pick this up in the campaign, which has already started when you guys are watching this, but not for Mike. So excited for that. We'll see where this goes and see what the future holds for Dav'Ril and the path he would walk, whatever that would be. So
emotional. Whoa.
Yeah. But thanks for watching. Keep tuned for the rest of the campaign. Hopefully there hasn't been a TPK yet. Bye!